What's going on, everybody? Can you guys hear me? Loud and clear. I like it. I like it. So I saw Terry, I saw your question. It's still not showing the questions. The only reason why you saw those is because I responded to it while I was setting up. And so I'm still trying to figure that out. It's weird. But what I'm going to do, and I'm going to work on tonight, is to also, anytime I see a question come in, before I answer the question, I'll repeat it to you guys, okay? So that way, obviously, you know what I'm talking about. Does that make sense? So as the questions come in, I'll repeat it. I'll say, okay, Deborah asked this, and this is why we do this, or whatever it is. Okay? Good to go? Sweet. Everybody excited? What is tonight? Thursday. So just to give you a heads up, next week, we're probably going to have to do this. I'm thinking on Tuesday. Okay, and the reason why is we have the in-house training next week. So Thursday is actually the get-together for the in-house training where we do the after-hours thing and we go out to eat and everything. So we're probably going to have to do it Tuesday next week, but obviously, if you can't make it on Tuesday night, you still get the recording and everything. All right? Tuesday is my drinking night. Not mine. Someone else said that. All right. So, here's the deal for tonight. What we're going to do tonight, obviously, all of you, is it anybody's first, any of you here, is it your first premium webinar, like one of these type of webinars? Let me know if it is, because these webinars are a little bit different than our other ones. Okay, I'm seeing Jamie. Ryan, what's up, dude? Corinthia, yes. Okay, so here's the difference with these webinars. I like doing these because we don't get hundreds and hundreds of people in it. So that's why we do it at the low price that we do it at. And what's up, Suzanne? How are you? And what we can do is we can get a lot more detailed. I can answer a lot more questions. It's just a smaller group to be able to learn a lot more. And the benefit of the premium webinar is you guys are the only ones that get this. So the recorded version, you'll be able to access. You'll have it by tomorrow early afternoon. Okay, so I upload it and I always get it up the next day to get the recording, to be able to watch the recording, because I promise you, and those of you who have been to many of these, it's going to be brain overload, all right? You guys know how it is. And it's going to be a ton of different things and different features and different ideas and different ways to do things in the wizard that you may not do it that way. And you're going to have to watch the recording to learn a lot of it. And that's the whole point. And then here's the deal. Tonight, because we have this crazy sale going on the website, instead of doing a coupon code, I'm just going to do extra files in the webinar tonight, okay? Because none of the coupon codes I would give would come close to what the sale is that's going on right now, all right? Especially with the sale on the equipment and starter packs and everything. So instead, we're going to run through probably about 5 or 6 different designs. And then all of those designs I'm going to put into your order history, and you'll get all of those designs for free that we're working on tonight. All right? So, and just to let you know, some of the designs, the way that we do these webinars, they're not going to be the complete design. And the whole reason for that is I want you to learn how to do the design. The whole point of these premium classes is for you to learn something, but then also to kind of implement it and take what you learned and bring in the file. So, for example, the different files that I pull up that we're going to work on here, okay, you're going to get the initial file that I'm going to pull up, which is still a file on the website that we sell. But the thing is you're going to have to follow through and do it with me later so you can actually learn it, all right? Sometime Pam, someone was listing Central Time? These are always at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure who listed it, but I'll see which one said Central Time. But yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that, Pam. Or Mark, whoever, whichever. Yeah, I think it's Pam. Okay. No worries, no worries. All right, so for tonight, is there a way for to highlight the cursor? Carol, unfortunately, with the GoToWebinar, there's not, but when I upload the recording, I do highlight the cursor, okay? So it will be highlighted in the recording, so just let me know whenever you, Roseanne, you sent me a Cubs cursor, all right? I need to check that out. Thank you. I didn't see that yet. All right, let's rock and roll, guys. So here's the deal. It's an hour-long webinar, which normally means an hour plus. Might be an hour and a half, hour 45, who knows? We like to go overtime. You guys just get some bonus time because I always get excited when I start doing these and it's fun and we get to hang out together and we get to learn more. So we always say an hour, but you guys know me. I like to talk and I like to teach and we normally go over the hour. All right? And if you have to leave after that hour, no worries. You'll still get the full recording and all the files and everything. So what we're going to be covering tonight is some more of the rhinestone feature side of it, okay? And just doing some different things with rhinestones. So I'm not going to get crazy, okay, and do like, I want a huge cardinal head design. I want to rhinestone out that entire design because that's going to require all the things that I'm starting to teach you tonight, you knowing those already. And it'll just be confusing and overwhelming, and you won't learn much. So my goal is to teach you all of the tools, and then we can get to that point down the road as far... And honestly, guys, and you guys see all of the designs that I do, and when you're at trade shows and the website and everything, I don't sell nearly, like when mine and Lorraine's business, as we were finishing up the finished product side of the business and it was very successful, our most popular designs, and you guys let me know in the questions here, our most popular designs by far were the designs where it had heat transfer vinyl accented with rhinestones. You guys let me know, what are your most popular designs? Is it multi-deck with rhinestones and heat transfer vinyl? Is it all rhinestone designs, or is it just heat transfer vinyl designs because you haven't really gotten into the rhinestones yet? I got multi-deck, and I'm saying them all so you guys can hear. We got an all rhinestones, multi-deck, rhinestones not as big in Canada as in the States, makes sense too. Multi-deck, haven't done rhinestones yet. HTV glitter, subbed, okay, Casey, good. Multi-deck, most of my rhinestone, exactly. So here's the deal, and here's the reason why the type of designs and stuff that we're going to go over tonight, some are so popular, is at any point, okay, so I'm going to open the first file. Some of you may have seen me do this file before, but I always like to start with this one because it kind of gets the base going, okay? So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go open. And we're going to open our knockout file, okay? How many of you guys have seen me do this Eagle soccer design? Probably a lot of you have already, all right? So we got this design right here, all right? And I can guarantee something that I'm going to do here is even going to, because remember, even some of you that may have come to older in-house trainings, I do it a little bit different than I used to do it now because of new features in the Wizard. All right, so we have Eagles soccer. Let's just go to our fine text and change it to Eagles baseball. All right, now what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and take my eagle here. Okay, I'm going to bring my eagle to the top and I'm going to do my knockout design. Now, most of you know how to do this part of it, okay? But this is where you are going to have to think a little bit. And let me just change this to a different color so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see it. So I want to do a multi-deck design with this, okay? So first thing you always, no matter what your rhinestone design is, the first thing you always want to do is make sure that your size of your design is the correct size that you want it to be. Why is that important? Why do you think something like that is important? And making sure your vector design is the exact size. June's got it, yep, your stone size. So it can align with your garment, yep, can't exactly. Mark and Pam can't change the stone size. So I'm not sure if a lot of you realize this, okay? And some of you, yes, Roseanne, changing it is that when you're finished with it. I agree. So here's the deal. If I started this design out at, let's say, 11.6 inches, and I wanted it to go on a women's shirt, and I created it for SS10 stones, as you know, we can't just shrink this down after because the circle sizes are going to change, okay? So anytime you're working with rhinestones, probably how many of you guys have done that before? Like maybe you're going to stone out this eagle design or stone out a design. You didn't pay attention to the size of your design. You stoned it all out. It took you an hour to do it. Believe me, I've done it tons of times. It took you an hour to do it all, and then you're like, oh crap, it's 14 inches big. I got to redo this whole thing. And most of you, I know you guys can't see the comments, everyone in here is commenting saying, yes, guilty, yes, me, okay? And that's what happened. So number one key, starting out with anything with rhinestones, make sure it's the right size, all right? So 9.8 inches wide, I'm saying that's a pretty good size. So I want to add stones around this eagle, okay? And I always like to show you all the different things of what you're going to do wrong off the start, because I think that's the best way to teach you guys instead of just showing you the perfect way right off the start, okay? Because here's what most of you will do off the start. So I'm going to change my stone color to, let's say, an emerald. I'm going to click on this eagle. We're going to go to the Place and Fill tab, and I'm going to come over to the outside. I want to add one island, add stones, and I want it to automatically figure out my spacing. So what do you guys think this is going to do? I have my eagle selected, one island to the outside. What do you think this is going to do? Do you think it's going to do what we want? Exactly. I see a lot of you saying no. So what it's going to do is it's going to fill the outside, but also the inside of my eagle. And let me show you. I want to do it so you can see. So when I come to Island Fill, that's what it's going to do. We don't want that, right? We don't want the stones going all on the inside of the eagle. We just want it around the outside of the eagle. So I'm going to Control Z, as in zebra, to go back. Now, what's my special button to be able to do that? I know some of you know it already. So, I take my eagle, and I want to, what is it? Right up here, create boundary. You guys got it. Yep. So, create boundary. And what that did is it created just a boundary around the outside of my design. And I want to show you. I'm going to Control Z and go back again. Watch what this Create Boundary button does. This is a really important feature in CorelDRAW and the Wizard when you're doing a lot of things. I'm going to highlight the entire design and hit Create Boundary. Okay? Look what just happened. It created a boundary around all of the outside area. See the B there? There's no line cutting off the B at all. So it obviously took the outside of that B. So you need to make sure that you understand. Don't just follow along with me and do it, because you're not going to learn it that way. Try to understand what the feature in the button actually does and try it in different ways. And that's the only way you're really going to learn it. And what that's going to do is that's going to open up all types of possibilities for you when you actually understand the features, because when you understand them, then you're going to come to a different design and say, oh man, I bet you I could use the boundary for that. Okay? So please don't just always follow along with the video step by step. You need to, exactly, Suzanne said you need to understand the why, which is exactly right. You need to understand what it's doing. Don't just follow and click on buttons, because then when you get to a different design, you're going to have no clue what you're doing because you don't have a video just to follow and click the buttons. I like Suzanne's comment there. Understand the why. Understand why it's being done. So, everybody understand the why with this? I'm going to use that, Suzanne. Do I need to pay royalties for you on that? So, click here, and it created the outline, okay, the boundary of just my eagle, all right, because I had just the eagle selected. So, if I have just the eagle selected and I create a boundary, it creates a boundary just around the eagle, okay? And that's what we want. So, eagle, create boundary. So, we have the boundary there, all right? I'm going to send that boundary to the back because I don't want to mess with it right now. So, I'm going to hit B for back. And now, I'm going to take the eagle. You guys know I always like to do this, right? This Eagles baseball design, the text here, is it perfect? Is it ready to go? Is it ready to cut? I'm seeing most of you right away, you said no. You got a problem with the E and the A, right? So when I go into my wireframe, see my E and my A overlapping? Again, understanding the why, I always go into wireframe. And then what I always like to do, and you guys hear me say this all the time, is I like to weld my lettering together all the time, just to be safe. So I'm going to take my E and my B. I'm going to show you in the wireframe how this is done, and hit weld, and it welded that E and A together. Okay? So we're good to go with that. We know that's fine. So I have 3 areas now. I have my pink, Eagles baseball, and my boundary. Control Z, Z, Z. You don't have to weld before the boundary. No, Sharon, because I didn't select any of that. I only selected the Eagles and the baseball. So I wasn't even touching any of those. All right. So here we go. Does anybody know the special contour for the SS10 stones to fit in? Who's watched this video before to know the exact number for the SS10 stones to fit in perfectly? Laura's got it. Laura, Magic, Doug, Renee, Steve, yes. Okay, here's the magic number. So watch, I'm going to click on the pink eagle and the Eagles baseball. You guys know I always move it. I'm always double checking myself. Control Z to go back. And we want a 0.17 contour, okay? So I'm going to go to Edit, Knockout, and I'm going to do a 0.17. So when I click on KO here, see how it knocked that out perfectly? 0.17. So, Alicia, it doesn't show all the questions from everybody. That's why I'm just kind of making sure to speak them out to you guys before I answer questions. So 0.17 is the magic number because, watch, now I have my, see how my boundary stayed there? All I need to do now is add my stones to the boundary. So I'm going to click on my boundary. I'm going to come over to the place and fill. And no, you can't use the magic boundary because it's not doing the knockout. It would get rid of all the letters too. All right? It would go to the inside as well. So check this out. Got that there? And now I'm just going to come over here. I got my emerald. Doesn't matter what color. Outside, one island, and I have it set back to auto now. So when I go over here to island fill, boom. There you go. So it filled those stones in there perfectly. Why would you not move the letters instead of welding together? Because if I moved the E and the A, they would have been too far apart. I want them nice and condensed, okay? So, getting a couple people asking to do that one more time. So, I'm going to even go back to here just so you can see it again. So, I have my boundary back behind there. I'm not touching that now. I got the pink, shift click to the Eagles baseball. I just have those two. Under the Edit tab, 0.17 knockout, click. There's my knockout. Now I click on the boundary. I just have the boundary. And place and fill. Auto, one island to the outside. Island fill. And there it is perfectly. Kyle, 0.17 is the magic number. The reason why is I just know, because look, if you look at, and I'm going to show you here, let me clear the path. The circle is 0.135 inches. So 0.17, it just needs to be more than 0.135 to give some area in between there. Okay, so even if you have SS16 stones, then that magic number is a little bit higher. Okay? And that's where, and it's honestly, it's pretty easy to figure it out. So, and I want to show you guys, because those of you who have seen me do this design before, you've never seen me do this. So watch. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to create my stones first, but I'm going to do SS16 stones. Okay? I want to show you guys how I find that magic number. All right? So, boundary, and I'm going to do my island fill. And let me bring that to the front. So there's my SS16 stones. All right? So let me clear my path, and then I'm going to click on the pink and the black, and let's come over here and do a 0.17 KO. So I don't need my boundary anymore, and I'm going to do a 0.17 KO. So see how the 0.17 wasn't enough? So what I can do, I can just Control Z and go back a step. And then I can say, okay, click, click. I have the two of them. Maybe it's 0.2. KO. Oh, there's my magic number, 0.2. Okay? So it's a matter of a couple extra clicks just to find that magic number. Because here's the thing, it's not always 100% going to be 0.17, because some of you with a Silhouette Cameo, you might cut your SS stones at 0.131. Some of you might cut them at 0.135. Some of you might cut them at 0.139. So it can vary a tiny bit based on which cutter you're cutting with and how it cuts. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so let's go back, and I'm going to get this to SS10 stones. So I'm going back another step, back another, and here we go. So I got my boundary. I'm going to come back and switch this back to my SS10 stones. So I got my pink and black, check, yep, all good. My KO is going to be 0.17, KO, boundary, place and fill. I got SS10 stones, so I'm going to island fill, and then I'm just going to clear my paths, which is right here, clear path. And what that's doing, that's clearing the path that the stones went on to. So when I hit clear paths, it cleared that path back behind it. Now all the stones are individual, okay? Remember, you got to get rid of your boundary, so I'm just deleting that. Now here's another cool thing I want to show you, all right? Nobody wants to do this, and this is what you do in most softwares. I'm going to come over here, I'm going to grab that, I'm going to move it a little bit. Then I'm going to come over here, I'm going to grab this stone a little bit, grab that stone a little bit. And then I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to grab this stone, and you keep doing this over and over and over, right? So, it's kind of a pain in the butt. See all of these overlapping stones here? Okay, and there's not a ton of them. But for example, watch this one right here and this one right here. So when I click on one of my green stones, I want to select all of my green. So I'm going to select right here, select same color. It selected all my green stones, and I'm going to hit merge overlapping stones right here. So I'm going to click right there, merge overlapping stones, and it took both those stones, found the direct middle of them, and boom, it just fixed all of your overlaps in this design. So this design is done and ready to go now. Obviously, if you want to make it look pretty, you can come over to your glitters. I'm going to do a black glitter for that. I'm going to do a green glitter for this. And I want to do some crystal stones. Select same color, crystal stones. I want to throw this onto a shirt real quick. We got our quick product. The product we want is a women's long sleeve shirt. save my product, and the design that we want is that design. Simulate my stones and create my mockup. And there you go. And you can see all the stones are simulated now, and this design is ready to go, okay? So, like I said, this one's a little bit easier, and I know it didn't seem that way, but we're going to get into some more difficult ones here in just a second. When you click, are you right? I'm left clicking on all of these, Elaine. If I right click, I'll tell you, okay? And then another thing is if I highlight this entire design and I come over to templates, now, Elaine, I'm right clicking on vinyl overcut. Then, boom, all your color separations. But again, you can see that the software, okay, is smart enough to know this is heat transfer vinyl, so it automatically mirrors it. This is rhinestones, so it does not mirror it. So you don't have to think about that. It's going to do it all for you. All right? Okay, you guys ready to move on? Are we somewhat familiar with the... Kyle said, if that's easy, I have a lot to learn. Kyle, believe me, it's not easy off the start. It's easier for some of the Wizard users that's been using it for a while. But if you're new, this will be a little overwhelming right now. Okay? Believe me, don't feel like if you're overwhelmed with this, that you're out of the norm. This will definitely be overwhelming for a lot of you, because a lot of you still don't know the basic features of some of this stuff. All right? And that's why you always need to know all of those basic things. And then once you kind of, you know the why and you know what those features are and what they do, then you're good. Okay? So believe me, those of you who are new to the Wizard, most of this webinar tonight is going to be, like I said earlier, it's going to be brain overload for you. But as you keep going and learning the Wizard, then it's pretty cool when it clicks and you're like, oh, I know how to do that. Okay? And that's the whole purpose of these, is to kind of go through slow and show you. Okay? All right. So, we're good to go. We're going to move. Why, when I do the cut template, the yellow box doesn't, khaki, I'm not sure. I haven't seen that. So if you get that, shoot a screenshot. If it's not it should line up like this. All right, let's rock and roll. So I'm going to close this down. Bye-bye, knockout design. And I'm going to come over here and open up. I want to show you one feature that a lot of you, I think, probably don't know about. And it's just a simple feature. This, obviously, a full cardinal head rhinestone design. Who knows the easiest way to change the colors in this design? How would you guys change the colors? And as the comments come through, I'll let you know what they're saying. How would you change it to, I don't know, a blue jay or something? So most of you would probably pick the select all, select by color, select all, then change the color, select all. Okay, so group by color, select, okay, so every single person here, all right, has said select all the colors. And this is what they mean, those of you who don't know. Click on the red, select same color, change it to blue. Click on the black, select same color, change it to pink. Click on the gray, select same color, change it to brown. Click on the yellow, select same color, change it to black. Or dark red, whatever you want. And that's what most of you meant by select same color, correct? Okay, I'm seeing everybody say yes. There's a feature here when it comes to full rhinestone designs that honestly makes it even easier than that. Because I would have to click, and then click, and then click, and click. Basically 4 clicks every time. If I selected my entire design here, all right, and I go to this area over here, my design prep.
Sorry.
And, oh, Siri thinks I'm talking to her. And I want to process by color. How many of you used the process by color before? So I'm under design prep and process by color. Never knew about it. Nope, 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 no, 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 no. Sue said yes. Sue has. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, awesome. All right, well, I just need to get you to learn one thing, Sue, tonight, because everybody else is going to learn their one thing right now. Check this out. Process by color. It pulls in all the brown, and it shows it to you. I want that to be this gray color. Process by color. There's all the pink. I want that to be black. Process by color. There's that. I want that to be the gold for the beak. Process by color. There's the blue. I want that to be the red. And now you're done. That's pretty sweet, isn't it? So, when you're working with rhinestone designs that have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 colors, very, very easy just to go process by color. And that's the thing. There's so many features in the wizard that a lot of people don't know. Process by color. I want it to be a blue jay, no problem. Change it to a blue jay. There you go. Pretty nice, isn't it? We're actually working on it to do with the vector designs as well, okay? And that's what this magic match that we're working on is. So the magic match is going to start finding the different, and what our goal with this is, what the magic match does is, let's just say you pulled in a color, okay? And this is to help you with our stone colors. So let's just say this is I don't know, a Corel color. So I'm not using our TRW colors. And then this one here is a Corel color as well. It's kind of that grayish. And this one here is a Corel color as well, maybe a yellow. So if I highlight this entire design and I come over and magic match, what that's doing, who can tell me what that's doing right there? What do you think it's doing? What it's actually doing is, maybe you bought a design from another website or something. What it's actually doing is it's telling you, based off the color, what color of the TRW stones are going to kind of best match that design. Okay? So if this were a darker, it would have gone to black. So yeah, it's trying to help you find the closest match for stone colors. So it isn't necessarily something to change all of your colors. It's just trying to help you match your rhinestones so you know what rhinestones to order. And it's not 100% perfect, but it's going to come pretty close. Okay? All right. So here's the deal. Check this out. Another feature that I think most of you haven't used, because most of you haven't even been on this design prep area, right? So I'm going to come back to my process by color. So I'm going to process this, and I'm going to go yellow, process by color, and I'm going to go black, process by color, and I'm going to go white, process by color, and I'm going to go the red, okay? And we got that already. Oh, hit it one too many times, so I'm going to Control Z back. Okay, so now that I have this design, okay, and all of this here is good to go, I want to just do a quick little product mock-up, all right? So to do something like that, that's the quick proof right here. So what I could do is I can say I want to add a background. I want the background to be maybe a light gray, and I want to simulate the stones. And I can come over and hit create, and there's your quick proof right there. And all the stones are simulated. How many of you used that before? Someone was asking how to add the sparkle burst. That's under the mockup tab, and it's right here, add bling, and then you can click on the little sparkle right there. Tanya said I used that once by mistake before. So it's a cool feature just to show somebody a quick little mock-up, or some of you just want to throw it on a black background real quick, okay? So pretty cool to be able to do just a quick mock-up like that. All right, and that was the point of this Cardinal, is to show you in the design prep area the process by color feature. All right, so let's close this bad boy down. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah, the bling feature is pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of cheesy looking, but it's cool looking because it shows the customer that it's rhinestones and it's sparkling when you send an email them an image or whatever it is. So, next one. Let's go File, Open here, and we're going to create an inside fill, okay? Just got a basic heart. Now, the reason why I chose this heart is it's easy to do an inside fill on other items. And I want to show you the other items. So if I had a square right here, all right, I got a 2" by 2" square. And I got a square here. I want to show you what these different features do first. Again, knowing the why and what it's actually doing, okay? So, difference between open and import. Pam, if you're going to open, you're opening actual CDR files where you can import JPEGs and all different types of files, if that makes sense. So when open, it's just showing CDR files that you can open in CorelDRAW. Import, you can import all different types. All right? So, got a square here. I want to fill this square. If I just wanted this square in all red cyan color stones, all right? So, got this here, and I want, yes, Roseanne also said open's going to open it in a new page. That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, so let me just show you. So if I came over here to File and Import, it's going to pull up my files here and I can bring these in, okay? But it could also bring in JPEGs and everything else, all right? Hey, there's Mike. But if I go here and I go File, Open, Open is going to open a brand new file. So I can come over here and I click on a JPEG. It's not going to open the JPEG because it's not a CDR file. I would want to import that JPEG file or GIF or whatever it is. All right, so got the square here. What's my best way to fill this entire square with red cyan stones? Path fill, island fill, hatch fill, or offset fill. I see most of you getting it, okay? I'll show you the difference. Path fill is filling the path. Island fill is doing an island to the outside because we have outside selected. Hatch fill is filling that entire area. So hatch fill is the winner there. Okay? Very easy with the square. Gets a little more difficult when we get into a heart. And this has always been one of my pet peeves when it comes to rhinestone designing, because I see a lot of rhinestone kind of designers out there that they take the easy way and the cheap way out, and it doesn't look good, okay? And a lot of you probably know what I'm talking about, and you'll be able to see it in designs right away. I take this heart. If I want to take the easy way out, I'll come over here and click on a hatch fill, and I'll say, that's my heart. It doesn't look bad, but, I mean, what are those? Eyes on the top of it? That doesn't really look that good, right? So, I mean, I could try to add some stones in there. But, I don't know what that is. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it still looks like a heart. You can see that it's a heart. It just doesn't look that great, okay? So, I always like to spend the extra time on it, and I'll come over here, and I'm going to do an island fill. So if I want to fill this entire heart right here, how many islands would I do? I want to go to the inside, and I'm going to go 0 islands. And the reason why I chose 0 is I wanted to keep going until it basically collides with each other. Okay? Because if I just did, let's say, 3 islands and hit island fill, it's going to do 3 islands to the inside. Now, if I go 0 islands, then it's going to go all the way to the inside. That makes sense to everybody? Everybody understand the difference of why you put 0 there? Good. All right. So let's highlight my design and let's go ahead and clear my path. Now I got a little bit of work to do, right? So the first thing we could do if we wanted to is we could get rid of any of the overlaps. All right? Because we have our corner detect on, so all of those kind of areas where it's cornered, it's going to have some overlap. So select the red, select same color, and merge our overlaps. So now I don't have any overlapping stones in this design. Who knows the easiest way to fix this design? And it's not going to take long, okay? It's not going to take long. Hey, Bonnie, at least you're honest about it. Bonnie said I did the hatch fill earlier today on a heart. I needed this a few hours ago. Hey, that's why we're here. So check this out. Here's the way I like to do it. Because even that little spot there, even if I wanted to fix that little spot there, because it's a little bit more than the other one, okay? Here's what I would do. I would click, and I'm holding shift, click. So click, click, click. Okay, so I have those, and I hit my magic respace. Click, 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 click. But those aren't very bad, but we can do it anyway. Magic respace. Now this area here, I got a little bit more. See this? So I'm going to go click, 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 click. All right. Now when I magic respace this one, I might need to try and add a stone. Ah. See how I just hit that up arrow and it added 1 stone? So, same thing here. Click, 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 click. Magic respace. Do I need to add one? Nah, those are a little too tight, so I'm going to take one back out. Everybody see what I'm doing with that? And then maybe down here, I just drag and duplicate one. I'm holding the shift and left clicking each time. So let me get rid of all those lines, okay? I'm going to, has anybody, ooh, this is a great learning one right here. Has anybody ever highlighted your lines that you've drawn, hit clear pass, and they don't disappear? I'm sure a lot of you are going to say yes. It's just a quirk with CorelDRAW. If that ever does happen, hold shift and clear paths, and that'll make them go away. So hold shift and clear pass, and that makes them go away. Okay, so I just spent, what did we spend there? I don't know. Let's just say we spent a minute doing that, right? And that side looks great. Now we're going to come over here and do this one for a minute, correct? Or I could take all of these, right? And I'm going to delete all of those and highlight these. I'm going to hold Control, drag that to the right, and right click, and then I'm just going to arrow it over. And now I got both sides done. What? If you have a symmetrical design, you should never fix both sides. Fix one side. I'll do it again. Yep. Let me Control Z and go back. And I'll show you another little tool too. I'll play around with it here just to show you. So let me clear my paths. Boom. Okay. I know you guys didn't notice this, but here's the deal. See these key stones right here in the middle? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are on that straight line right there. Can everybody see those? Do you notice when I was doing my respaces, I never went to the right side of those stones. I always either started at that stone or I started to the left of it. And the reason why is I didn't want to mess up the symmetrical heart that I had going. Had I gone respace all the way around here, it would have made it a little bit off and I wouldn't have been able to line those up perfect. So that's the thought process that went into that. So now that I have those, I can delete these, keeping those center ones that I just talked about. When I highlight this, I want to show you something else here. If I could, I clicked on that and I could bring this over, but all I did when I highlight this, I hold Control, drag it to the right, and it's going to duplicate it perfectly, but kind of mirror it, and then I'm going to right click. Yeah, you could just mirror it too. If you get used to that feature is just so easy to use. And then you just drop them on top of each other, and of course, select same color because we have overlaps there, and just merge your overlaps. And now that heart's done. Right? So, let's see which heart looks better. That one or that one? Obviously, there's no question, right? Now, what if I wanted this heart to have an outline of crystal stones? And we did a, maybe we did the, like the multi-deck rhinestone decals that we're doing now, okay? How could I do that? How could I just have a row of stones around this, and maybe I'm going to do this as a red glitter, a white glitter, and crystal stones? Pam, you got it. All right, yep. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my vector heart, and I'm going to come to my place and fill. I want to go to the outside, and I want to do one island, okay? One island to the outside. Obviously, I'm going to change my stone color, just so it's a different color. So, boom, and island fill, and that added the stones to the outside perfectly, right? Clear my paths, boom, and now I want to add a contour around this, right? So I could, if I wanted to, just come over here and do a magic boundary, and let's just, now watch this. This is where it gets a little bit different. When I click on magic boundary here, it's going to put it on the top layer. Just send it to the back, okay? So I want to send this gray to the back, and then there you go. Everybody see that? Everybody see how I did that? And I'll do it again. I'll do it again. It's easier to do the boundary than the contour side of it, because now that boundary is perfect back behind there just to layer it. So if we wanted this to look pretty, okay, to send it to the back, let me go back and let me do that whole process again for you guys so you can see it. So we have no stones right now. Click on the heart, okay? I got one island to the outside, island fill. And always make sure you have your, watch, if I turn off my corner detect and do island fill, see what happened down there? Right? So, watch the difference. Let me Control Z and go back. And now I'm going to turn on my corner detect and island fill. And now you get that perfect look. Alright? So, clear my paths. Click on this. Magic boundary. Boom. And then I'm going to send that gray right here to back. The B to back, and you're good to go. Why wouldn't I path fill? The reason why we wouldn't path fill is because we don't want it to go right on the path. When you think of path fill, that means it's going to go right on the line. It's going to split the line. The magic boundary, Kelly, bottom right here. See it lighten up blue? And with the recorded version, my mouse will be highlighted with like a big yellow circle, okay? So, now what I would do, obviously, to make it look pretty, is we're going to go here. I'm going to take the black and turn that into a red glitter. I'm going to take the gray and turn that into a white glitter. I'm going to take the blue zircon stones and change those into crystal stones. Highlight my design. Maybe we just want to do that quick little design prep, right, on a black background. So change it to a black background, simulate stones, and create. And there's your multi-deck decal. Pretty sweet, huh? And then that's, again, the glitter layered on glitter and stones layered on top of it. But the reason why we can get away with that is you're going to be able to put it on a flat surface with the Bling Anything material. Had we not had the Bling Anything material, then you would not be able to do that, okay? That's why you're able to put the stones on top of the glitter. Does everybody understand that? Because on a shirt, obviously you don't want to put the stones directly on top of the glitter, okay? The UV protectant, Chuck, that 303 is the best I've gotten used so far, and I just got it on Amazon. They might have it, honestly, I know I got that on Amazon. They might have it at Home Depot or Lowe's, but that's what's going to protect the heat transfer vinyl glitter from fading as quick. All right. We all good with the heart? Again, it's going to be a little more difficult off the start, but when you go back and you watch it, it's going to start to make sense for you guys, all right? But, again, please, don't, do you spray it on these? Yeah, we spray it on the multi-deck decals. Correct. What about using automotive clear coat for the glitter? Jeff, it's a possibility. It could help protect it. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of our heart here. No, I put it, Roseanne. Roseanne's question was, do you treat it like Magic Flock and cut the holes? No, we put the rhinestones directly on top of the glitter because we're doing it with the decal. I haven't tried the frog juice yet, Todd, no. I include it. And Pam, with something like that, once you have a bottle of it and you just spray it quick, that's no problem. We don't charge any extra for that. Because I know it's going to protect it and make it last longer and make them happy. It's not, I mean, the bottle was like $5 and I can't imagine how many I could spray. Okay? All right. So, let's go ahead and open here. You can spray over the rhinestones. Yes, you can definitely spray over the rhinestones. But the easiest way and the way that I did it with the testing is I did the testing just on glitter. However, when I press it and I'm doing a multi-deck one like that, I actually spray it right after I do the glitter side of it. I let it dry for a minute or two and then I'll press the rhinestones on. And then I actually give it a little extra spray at the end, okay? It's on the Facebook page. It's the 303 protectant. I'm not sure exactly what it's called right now, but it's the 303. I think it's 303. That's the one that's been the best so far. All right, so let's go and I just want to show you this. Oh, see? That's why I was explaining that earlier. I can't open this. So I'm going to go file. See how I couldn't open that JPEG? But now I'm going to go to File, Import, and let's go to the pumpkin. And then I can drop it wherever I want. So this is pretty cool. And I want to show you this feature just because it's pretty easy to do. And I think a lot of you, it's going to save you guys all a lot of time, okay? And that's the whole goal of these webinars as well, is to save you time. So as you can see, this is just a JPEG. It's all pixelated, everything else. The coolest thing and the easiest things to do with rhinestones when it comes to just like outlines like this is coloring books. So think of a coloring book design. The benefit of a coloring book design is it has the thinner lines, okay? Well, the other benefit of a coloring book looking design is I can come over here to my Place and Fill tab. Let's just say I'm going to switch to orange stones, okay? So let's go to our orange stones. Who knows what button I'm going to click on? Does anybody know? It's a pretty cool little feature, and it does most of the work for you on a design like this as far as creating it with the lines. Can't do a path fill, all right, because a path fill has to see a vector. So when I go into the wireframe, there's no vector line to see there. Ah, you guys got it. Suzanne's got it. Marianne's got it. Deborah's got it. So this button right here, the single line button, okay, I'm going to right-click on single line. So I'm going to right-click on single line one time. It's going to process through this. And there you go. That's pretty sweet, isn't it? I'll do it again. Let me Control Z and go back. Now, it's not perfect, but see how it also does the path for it as well? So I got my JPEG right here. I'm going to right-click on single line. And there you go. Now, it's still got the paths, so let's highlight and clear my paths. Now what I'm going to do is I want to get rid of all my overlaps because it's not perfect, all right? So highlight it all. Let's merge all my overlaps so I know those are gone, okay? And now what I want to do is when I have this design here now, I need to fix some things. So see all of this area here? I got a little spacing issue there, a little spacing issue there, a little spacing issue there, okay? I want to fix these, but I don't want to sit there and move them one by one. Maybe I look at this and I say, oh man, that looks kind of weird. It looks like it should finish through, right? Even though the design didn't finish through, I want it to finish through there. So there's a couple different ways we can do this. One way, I could click, hold shift, like we did with the heart design, and go click, 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 click. And let's just say we're going to do that many. Come over here to my magic respace, and then up arrow, up arrow, up arrow. Maybe one less. And then clear my path. So that fixed that, all right? But that was a good amount of clicks there as well. Watch what else I could do. I can come up here. How many of you use your freehand pick tool much in the top left corner here? Do many of you use the freehand pick tool? I got a never. I got occasionally. Sometimes. Yes. Never. Didn't know it existed. Nope. Nope. Some. Never. Nope. Nope. Never. Nope. Okay, so more nopes and nevers. So watch what I can do with this. Freehand pick tool, what that does is it allows me to select specific areas. What I mean by that, and I'm going to show you that some of you will have this frustration, I know, all right? You want to select just the nose, right? And I want to make just the nose red. Okay, I'm going to highlight just the nose and make it blue. Oh no, it made all of those stones blue as well. I want to select just the eye or just the mouth. So if I want to select just the mouth, I got to go all the way out there and turn it blue. Oh no, it turned all of those blue, right? Well, that's where this tool comes in really handy, the freehand pick tool. So if I wanted to change just the mouth blue, I can just draw around it. Go there and there. That's going to select all those stones and change it to blue. That tool is very, very, very handy in rhinestone designs and selecting specific areas, okay? So here's another area where that tool can be handy. But you do need to remember one thing, okay? And watch. I'm going to highlight. Remember how I went click and then shift click, 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 and then we did it? Watch. I'm going to highlight all of these. And then it went all the way to this one. And now I just need to shift click one time. I need to create an endpoint for it, okay? So when I magic respace, then it just did it all. Everybody see how much quicker that was? So I went and I drew around 15 stones, but remember, you always have to hold shift and click where you want it to end. So one stone further. And here's a cool way I want to show you of how this works. Check this out. Let's just say that, see these areas here? How it's not a perfect straight line, but we want all of these areas to be fixed. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw around here, and I'm coming all the way around here, and all the way around here, and around here, and let me just end, let's say, right there. So I just selected all those stones along the bottom, hold shift and click. There's my end point. Now, spaces, all types of a mess there, right? Magic respace, maybe add a stone, clear my path, and now all that area is fixed with what, 3 clicks? That tool is going to save you guys a ton of time, okay? And learning that tool and how it works. Does everybody understand how that worked and how I did that? It's pretty freaking easy. And, I mean, you can even get crazy and do it on something like this. See this? So right here, all these stones are pretty close together, then it gets real wide up there, then it gets weird there. Let's just act like there's a stone missing there and a stone missing there, okay? Watch what I can do. And I don't want to select these stones in the middle. You can get a little crazy with it, so watch. I'm going to go here, around that. I don't want those, so I'm going to go inside of those, and I want to there, and then around this. So you guys can see it draws that little line, okay? And then when I let go, it's got all of those selected. Hold shift, click that last one, and then magic respace, add a stone, clear my path. And now all of those are perfectly spaced and ready to go. I would have had to go click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I would have had to do 24 clicks had I not just drawn that path around it. So that, again, a pretty cool tool to be able to use. Now, what you can also do, and let me show you another way you can do these. That's missing, that's missing, that's missing. Another way you can use this tool, this respace tool is a pretty amazing tool, and it can do a lot of cool things, okay? So, I can come over here to my B-spline tool, and I can go click, 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 double click. So see my that path going all along that? Now, when I hit my magic respace, it's going to grab all the stones touching that path and respace them all. So that's another way you can do it. You can actually draw a path and do it that way. So let me Control Z and go back again. Now watch this. No coordination for the B-spline tool. You get used to it. Just keep playing around with it. Watch this. Let's act like that stone's missing, that stone's missing, that stone's missing, that stone's missing, that stone's missing. Okay, we got a bunch of stones missing here, right? I got that line, I magic respace, and now I got to click up 14 times to add 14 stones, right? Well, let's do this. We're using orange stones, right? If I click on this path, and if I hover over it, okay? How did I do that? Who knows that? That's a secret button I just pushed. How did I do that? See how it fixed all the spacing by itself? I'm going to go back. I'll show you guys again. So, if I would have just clicked on the magic respace, it would have done this. Just a left click does this. And then I got to go up arrow, up arrow, up arrow, up arrow, up arrow, up arrow, however many times, right? if I just click on the line and I hold shift and left click, then it automatically converts it to whatever spacing you have set, which we have 0.02 set. So now you don't have to keep clicking up arrow, up arrow, up arrow, up arrow, up arrow 15 times. Now it's automatically going to do that, and then we can just draw around it and clear our path out. Everybody got that? And these are the things, guys, is these different little tools. It's a shift left click. That's correct, Deborah. Shift and left click. Now, I want to see if I can make it crash here, okay? Let me just see something. I'm going to highlight all of this, okay? Because it's doing a ton of things behind the scenes. Wait, let me actually delete some stones. I'm going to try to make Corel crash. Because I know many of you do that. I do it too, don't worry. Here we go, here, and there. Now, I'm not going to do anything but hit Magic Respace. It did it perfect, okay? Here's why I keep telling you guys to always shift click and get that extra area, because if you did something like this and maybe grabbed an extra stone over there by mistake, right? And then did a Magic Respace, that's what you're going to get. Because it has no clue what it's doing, because you picked a stone way off to the side over there. And please always hit yes when you do that, because it actually, and see how it drew the line? It's trying to draw a line, then it drew a circle, then it attached it to this stone over here, and it just gets crazy, okay? So it didn't crash it. It just said, hey, dum-dum, you did it wrong. You clicked the wrong area. All right? But obviously sometimes you're going to get it where it's going to crash it too. So does everybody pretty much get the Magic Respace area there and how that works? I want to show you one more thing with that, okay? And again, I'm not going to save the file because you guys got to do this, right? And if to change it back to your regular pick tool, just go to pick tool right there. So I just want to add a stone real quick. So I'm going to go boom, add stone, and I want this to go here, and then these two to go here. Okay, just want to show you something real quick. Actually I want these two to go here. So if I do this, I want to show you two differences. I got click, 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 boom, and then I have click, 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 boom. See the differences of those? Yes, always say yes to the error window. Yes, Terry, because that sends us a message with the errors. So here's the difference of what just happened right there and what it's actually doing, okay? So watch this. Let's just say I have a design and I have some stones, and I'm going to do this here, okay? And then on this one, I'm going to bring it down a little bit, and I want it to go, you'll see what I'm doing here in just a second, because I want you, again, to understand the tools, all right? I'm going to highlight all of these, click on that one there, and I'm going to do my path and add stones, and it's going to add it with the kind of circles on there too, okay? And it's going to keep it to try and keep going kind of with a circle. If I right click on that, what that's going to do is it's going to keep it at straight lines. Do you guys see the difference? So left click is going to add curves. Right click is going to go straight point to point. And obviously with this design, it doesn't make a difference. But in specific designs, it will make, that'll make a huge difference, okay? Because you might want a design that's going like this, and you don't want it to keep adding circles to it. So the right click is going to draw perfectly straight lines. All right? Sweet. Good to go. Let's go into the next one now. I'm going to go File Open here. And we got live template stones. How many of you guys were at the webinar last week where we created this design? Be completely honest with me here, guys. How many of you actually went in and did all of the steps and created the design from scratch like we learned? And if you haven't yet, that's okay. Yes, no, no, not yet, no time. Yes, yes, haven't yet, planned on it tomorrow. Okay, someone's got it planned for tomorrow. Not yet, yes, yeah. Okay, honestly, I'm going to say probably about, if I had to guess, about 40% of you said yes, which actually is very surprising. I would have guessed less. And the reason why isn't because you just don't want to learn it. I know the way this business is, and it's a matter of having the time to be able to do it, right? If you don't have the time to do it, that's the hardest thing in this business is if anybody can find a way to have like 48 hours in a day, please let me know, because I could use like 60. And if I had 60, then I would need 80. And I'm sure you guys are all the exact same way. So, here's the deal with this design. And if you don't have, if you want to learn, I'm not going to go through the whole creation of this again, because we did it in the last webinar and most of you were at it. If you do want to, you can still go get that webinar and get the recording of it and the file and all of that stuff. So that's still on it. It was the Designing with Matt last week. I think it was July 5th. Is that correct, guys? July 5th? So you can still go get that one, and we do some other designs as well. But here's what I want to show you now. I want to show you now that we've created this design, it's basically step 2 of that webinar, is now I want you to be able to accent the design and not just put stones around, for example, the basketball here. I want you to be able to put some stones over here and put some stones around this area over here and really accent it. And this is where, honestly, guys, I see the biggest margins for you guys to make money and the best looking designs. By far, our biggest selling designs were always designs like this where we accent it with stones. Now, I could do this entire design in rhinestones. And even me, to do this entire design in rhinestones and make it look perfect, not doing it a cheap way, would take me at least an hour to stone out Seminoles perfect and basketball and Mama of 23 and 5A state champs. We wouldn't even be able to do, right? It would probably be too small of text to be able to stone out. So that's why I love the multi-deck designs, because I can come in here and say, okay, it's not the Southeast Seminoles, it's the Braden River. Okay, here's the first clue. Braden River, it already went into my basketball. How do I fix that? Click on it once. Remember, it's going to move the whole thing. We don't want that. Click on it again. It's going to select just the text, and we can rotate it. See that? So when you click on that design once, see how it has this huge box? It's actually selecting the path that it's on as well. So click on it a second time. Now you're going to see the box just around the text. And now I can edit kind of just the text. And if I wanted to, I could make the text smaller if I want as well. I can make the text bigger if I want as well. So whenever you have text on the path, that's how you edit the text. So we're all good there. We're all good there. Now I want to add some stones because, again, because this is a vector design, I could change this very easily to baseball as well, like we all want to do, right? Of course we want to change it to baseball. and we can go to change artwork. Maybe we have our live templates volume 3, and we click on the baseball here. And we could change it to baseball. Don't worry about the path back behind it. We're going to fix that in just a minute. In just a minute. All right. So let me take this baseball here, and I'm going to make the baseball just a little bit smaller. What's the first thing I need to do with this design? Those of you guys that were here last week, this is the text that I want. Okay. How do I start to get this ready for my cut file? Because I need to do that before I add my stones to it. Okay? So, remember those paths that are back behind it that all the text is on? How do I get rid of those paths? Because those paths are going to cut with your vinyl cutter, remember, right? We don't want to weld it because that's going to weld everything together. There you go. I got some of you getting it. Highlight the entire design. Come over to break, everybody with me, bottom right corner. It's highlighted blue. See it blinking blue? Break apart effects. So when I click that, go into my wireframe, and all of those circles are gone now. It's beautiful. Just to let you guys know, those of you who know CorelDRAW pretty good, what that button just did on one click with 2 circles and 2 text to pass and all of that, it's a pain in the butt to do that just in CorelDRAW and break everything apart. And so all I did is highlight the entire thing and hit break apart effects. It's a pain in the butt. And those of you who don't know that button and have been trying to do that, you're probably saying, yeah, you're right, Matt. That is a pain in the butt. Well, we made a 1-button click for you, okay? No, it's not simplified. Alicia, this is doing like 10 different things. It's doing like 10 steps in Corel. So it isn't just a single feature or a single button. Any of these, it's doing multiple steps in Corel, okay? All right. So we got that there. We got Seminoles Baseball. We got Mama of 23, blah, blah, blah. We'll come over here and find text. Obviously, we don't Mama of 23 and then number 45. So let's switch that to 23 as well, obviously. Highlight it here. I'm going to go ahead and convert it to curves. Now that I did that, none of this text is editable. Look, find text. It's all gone, right? So I'm with this now. Now, I want to knock out my baseball here. Okay, I'm using SS10 stones, right? So, magic boundary over here. I could do this, all right? How do I get rid of that yellow and blue back behind it and create that magic boundary for the stones to go around it? Do I want contour and remove shapes behind? Do I want just contour, or do I want just remove shapes behind? Here's the deal. I'm going to show you both of them so you can see. If I do both, contour and remove shapes behind, and hit magic boundary, it's going to do that. Is that what we want? No, right? We don't want that showing through. Control Z to go back. I don't want the contour because the contour is doing it to the inside. I just wanted to create that boundary at 0.17 inches around it and then remove all the shapes behind. So now, magic boundary, and there we go. Everybody with me on that? So, baseball, obviously, create our boundary, and island fill, and of course, those stones fit perfectly, right? Looks beautiful, right? Clear our path, and get rid of our boundary. And now we want to take it to the next level, and I want to add stones right in between this area. And you look at that and you're like, that isn't that hard. It actually is pretty hard, okay? So, here's the way that I would do it. Most people, because here's one of our issues. What's the issue with that? The area isn't big enough to add stones, right? So that's our first problem. So, here we go. how to get rid of just the boundary, you just pull it out of there and delete it. Let me go back. So the boundary's there now. I'm just left clicking in here and bringing it out, and then just hit delete. Just left click. So I'll change the boundary to blue so you can see it. See, the boundary's blue. It's always clear when you create it, okay? So I'm just left clicking into a dead area, which means I know it's going to click that, and then I just delete it. All right, so the stone's bigger in the area. Here's what I'm going to do to try and fix this. You're welcome, Sharon. So I'm going to click on the blue right here. And honestly, there's 10 different ways you could do this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab an orange stone. I'm going to put an orange stone, let's say, right there. I'm going to click on the blue. I'm going to hold shift. Okay? And I'm going to take this area here and just drag it down a little bit. And that looks pretty good there. Okay? And the reason why I held shift, why did I hold shift when I did it? Why do you think? By holding shift, it made the whole thing shrink kind of proportionate. Had I just dragged that top right corner and dragged it down, it would have just moved this area down that way. Okay? Exactly. So it doesn't distort it at all. So now what I can do, and this is honestly, it's not the prettiest way to do it, but it's probably the easiest way to do it, is to grab the blue right here. Okay, and it's got this blue and this blue. Okay, so it's got all of that. I'm going to come up to my place and fill, and I'm going to go one island to the outside island fill. Now I'm looking at this. Why is it doing that? Didn't we fit it in there perfect, right? So what's our issue here? Why is it overlapping now? Why do you think? The reason why is because we had it fit in there to where it barely fit, right? So we didn't have enough area there. We didn't have a full 0.17. So I want to show you how you can fix that if you don't have a full 0.17. What you can do is you can actually come over to where the contour, can everybody see where I'm at to the right over here on the wizard? I have it highlighted in blue right now. See where it says auto here on contour? Maybe I'm going to try a 0.09 contour. Okay, you can overwrite the auto. So when I go island fill now, it's still a little too far. Control Z. I'm going to try a 0.07 contour. Island fill. That's looking a whole lot better. But me, I'm saying, oh, that's a tiny bit off. No customer would ever know that, by the way. So I'm going to Control Z, go back one more time, and I'm going to do a 0.073. Island fill, and now it's perfect. Okay? I know my OCD is showing again. So, is this perfect? Is it exactly what we want? No, it's not. Okay? But, here's what we can do. Clear our paths, and instead of going click, delete, click, delete, click, delete, that's where, again, we're going to come back and we're going to grab our freehand pick tool, right? And what do you guys think? Do you like it better? And obviously, we'll make them the same size. Oh, deleted an orange there. I don't want that. Let's get rid of that blue. Do you guys like it better where it has the stones on both sides of the blue or only the inside? What do you think? More stones or less stones? Only inside, less, both, inside, both. Okay. Well, the cool thing is you guys have the choice. If you wanted both, you can have both if you want it. And what I'll do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to make the actual shirt for you. So, and show you both versions. So, see, it's going to take me, what, 20 seconds to click on that and delete it. Then I'll come over here and I'll delete these. But I'm going to show both versions here, and then we're going to decide based off the mock-up. It'll be cool. Okay, so let me move that up there. So there's the version with both. And obviously we want to go select same color, and we'll change this to blue as well just to get it the same. Let's take this entire design here and let's drag it over and duplicate it. And now I want to just leave the top area or the inside. So I'm using that tool that we just learned how to use earlier, right? The freehand pick tool, and deleted all those. I can delete that one there. And then all of them at the bottom, just drag around. And we're good there. All right, looking at it now, what would you guys say? Oh, let me get off the freehand pick tool. And let's go ahead and resize my workspace. So, inside or both? What do you think now? But let's show it on a shirt, and that might make a big difference, okay? So, all of the black and the blue, I'm going to select the same color. Let's select all of this blue. Make sure we have it all. And that there. And I'm going to change it all to, I don't know, do we want a glitter? If we're doing stones, we probably want a glitter, right? Let's do it in a glitter. Let's go, and I want to put them on each on a page, just so you guys can see them. So let's do, I've never done it with the two lines before. I'm actually kind of curious to see what it's going to look like. It could look good. So the blue, select same color. I'm going to change those to crystal stones. And then this blue here, select same color. And I want to change all of those. I'm going to weld them. And we're going to throw this on a regular shirt. Let's throw it so the stones pop. So we're going to go gold glitter. And you guys that were at one of the earlier webinars, you know how to fix that glitter, right? Interactive fill tool. Make that glitter look a little bit nicer. Everybody knows how to do that. If you don't, that was in one of the earlier ones as well. Then we got the orange. Weld that together. Got a sapphire. I'll go sapphire. Boom. There's a sapphire. And our stones are already crystal. So let's highlight this design. Let's just do our design prep. Simulate stones with a black background. Create. And that actually looks pretty good. I don't mind the look of that. Honestly, I didn't think it was going to look that good. How about with green and gold? All the shirts that I make normally just have the inside. I kind of like it with the two as well. I think it looks good both. Now let's go and do the inside one. So let's get rid of this guy and select same color. I'll bring them to the same page so we can compare them both. Let's select the same color there, and we're going to do a weld. You guys know I always weld it together. Let's go with the gold, and then the orange, weld it together. And what I do, green, right? Green, highlight, create, and let's bring it to the same page. Yeah, the design prep area is pretty cool, isn't it? I agree. Someone really smart must have done that. Alright, you guys tell me. I'm actually think I like the inside only better. I think I like the one line better. Wendy said one line, Elaine one line, Sharon one line. Yeah. Even though this has, I mean, they both look good, but I think this one almost takes away from the 23 a little bit. It almost makes the rhinestones kind of overtake the design a little bit. What would be the diff? Well, why don't we, you guys got the wizard. Why don't we just ask the wizard what would be the difference, right? Okay, let's see. So, back to page 1. Highlight my design. Click on my money sign here. So, on the 1, we have 48 cents worth of stones. And this is where it's not a huge difference, okay? So, watch, guys. $2.20 in cost, 48 cents worth of stones. on the 2-line one, okay, let me change it to green as well, just so they're both the exact same. Highlight that. And 162, well, that can't be. Let's go back here, hold on. We just used, oh, I got stones off to the right there. Can you guys see? Because I pulled it in there. It's got a bunch of stones off to the side there. That's why this one read wrong. I was like, man, we just added a bunch more stones and our price just got less. Good for us. There we go. 31 cents for the single row. And then for the double row one, we have 45 cents. So, I mean, it's a difference of 14 cents. And honestly, I think, like most of you were saying, I honestly think that the single color or the single line one looks a little bit better. You could get rid of that gold line. I saw somebody say, what if you got rid of the gold line there? You could get rid of that. And let me just show you how you could easily do that right here, even on the proof sheet. So if you wanted to say, I want to get rid of that gold line, just double click it and just highlight those nodes and delete them. And then I could do the same thing on the bottom. So let's see, let's just take a peek and see what it looks like if we didn't have that gold line there. What do you think? I still think the middle. The nodes are killing you. The nodes will get easy. They'll get easier as you do it more. Yeah, I like the difference with like where it goes to the gold, to the green, to the gold line again, to the green, to the gold, and it kind of alternates. Yeah, I think that gold kind of adds something. It makes, with the gold there and the gold there, it really makes the number pop a lot more. I think it kind of gets too mixed in with the two greens. Even though you got the crystal stones separating it. I mean, as you guys see, all of them look pretty freaking amazing. But I think as picky as we can get, because we have 3 great looking designs, my choice would be the center one here. Oh, you could possibly do that. The question was, what if the stones were gold? We could try that. And what if we did gold stones and then kept the ones around the baseball? Because we wouldn't want the gold on gold there. Let me just try something here real quick. Let's just go freehand pick tool. Oh, let me lock that. And I'm going to take these to there and make those a light topaz. And that looks better in the crystal. I'm still saying that I still like the 3-color look though. But again, that's what's cool about it. Look at all the different scenarios that you can have and decide from there. Here's the reason why I wouldn't like doing it this way, especially to say, even if you said that looks just as good as this one, why would I not choose this one and choose this middle one? Why do you think? Most of you are getting it, exactly. I'm going to have to cut 2 templates, which is more cost for me, right? And I got to make sure I have my crystal and my light topaz stones in stock as well. So, and the crystal are cheaper. Great point there as well, Samantha. Samantha said, and the crystal stones are less expensive. So, always, obviously, think of those things as you're doing this, okay? All right. One last thing I want to show you as well. So, everybody pretty comfortable with this? Everybody kind of see how it was done? And again, once you obviously go through and with the video and stuff and you watch the recording, obviously it's going to make a whole lot more sense. Yeah, if you don't watch the video again, I promise you're not going to remember all of this. I can almost guarantee that. I do want to show you one thing real quick. So, this is a tool that it's a cool tool, and it's just more difficult, like with it. Remember how I said there's 10, 15 different ways we could have done this? Here's another way I could have done this. I could have taken this area. I could have done a smart fill. So I just filled that, okay? And double click, and then on this node here, if I would have right clicked and break apart. So what that did is it broke apart the nodes. See that? So now these nodes are completely broken apart. They're completely separated now. And I could have double click on that node, double click on that node. So when you double click on a node, it actually deletes the node. So watch, double click on that node, double click on that node. I'm going to turn this yellow so you can see it a little bit, or maybe pink, so you can see it. So see that path right there? Now that I have that path there, okay, and I have that path selected, under the place and fill, I have the auto here. I come over and I go to add stones to the outside, all right, and click on that right there. Oh, let me go just a, what was that magic number we did? 0.73 or something like that, I think. 0.73. I want to say it was 0.73. Oh, 0.073, obviously. 0.73 obviously went way out there. So, see what I just did there? And I'll go through and show you again. So what that did is when I broke those apart, it gave me just this line right here. So again, here's a pretty cool tool, okay? And I can almost guarantee that 99% of you have not used this tool, all right? If I do an island fill on this, I'm going to get that, right? That's what everybody's going to get. It's doing an island around that line. But what we were doing down here, we didn't want it to go all the way around. And I might not want to go in and delete all of that stuff like I had to. So if I just have a single path that's going right there, we have what's called the offset. How many of you have used the offset tool and do the offset fill? I'm going to guess that maybe 2 or 3 of you have. Just guessing. I got a no, 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 never, no, yes, yes. Today, Bonnie, I like it. Bonnie said today, no, never, by mistake. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Never, no, 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 yes, no, no. Okay, so what that's doing is I do that offset. Remember that 0.073? So instead of it going around both sides, I can just do an offset, and it's just going to offset that line. So does everybody see what that's doing now? And how that would be easier to do a design like this? But the harder part of it is just knowing to break it apart and delete the nodes. Okay? So that's why I wanted to show you 2 different ways to be able to do this, okay, and kind of fill that area. So had this offset been here, what if I wanted 2 offsets? And I know this isn't going to fit perfect, but let me just show you. If it's going to mess up the rest of the design, which is fine. I just want to show you something here. If I had this here, okay, and I clicked on this, and I came over and I did that fill. To break it apart, I'm showing you that again right now, Suzanne. So double click, and this is the node I want to break apart. Because see how it's a node and it's attached everywhere when I move it? So I'm going to right click and break apart. And it breaks the intersections of that node apart. So now I can grab that and it's completely broken apart. So I'm going to double click, and all I'm doing is I'm deleting. Oh, sorry, I deleted I broke apart my main one. There we go. So I'm just deleting those extra, the back side of that fill that I did, basically. And boom, there. And again, sorry, it's easier if I make it another color. Smart Fill is right over here to the left. I'm going to highlight over it so it'll hover it. Right, oh, there we go. Right here to the left. See it on the left side right here? But what I can do is, when I have this now, and I'm going to go 2 islands for an offset path, then it adds 2. If I do 3, then it adds 3, and 4, and so on. So, where that becomes really, 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 really super really helpful is with this. I want to show you what this would... Remember how we did the island fill when it was 1? Watch when I do a 2 island fill. It's not going to keep everything perfect, and I would have to delete all of that. So when I'm just doing it as an offset, then boom, it's pretty much done and ready to go. Okay, and obviously I don't have the spacing done perfect there, but let's see. I can probably show you how we can get it to perfect. Let me click on the blue and the pink there. There's that. There's that. So I got both of them selected. Let's just make it a little bit bigger. Boom. Click on that pink. And offset. And there we go. So it took that one little adjustment, and now it's kind of fitting in there perfect. Everybody with me on that? And the awesome thing is most of you didn't know about the Smart Fill. Or, I'm sorry, not the Smart Fill, the Offset Fill, which is awesome. All right, so I know we went well over the hour, like we normally do, but that's good. Anybody have a problem going over the hour, like the webinar is scheduled for? Becky, give a call. Becky's having problems opening some of the vector files. Becky, give a call tomorrow so they can log into your computer and help you with that and see what's going on. How many of you are on brain overload right now and are saying, holy cow, how am I going to remember all of those things? Right? That's fine. The thing is I always keep breaking stuff, guys. Honestly, I used to, and don't get upset when you crash CorelDRAW. Because when you crash CorelDRAW, or you do something, or it doesn't work, or whatever it is, that just means you've found out what way doesn't work. So keep finding out all the ways that don't work, and then eventually you're going to find the things that do work. Believe me, when I started my business, I found every way to not run a business. And I screwed up a ton. But once I made those mistakes, then I said, okay, well, that's not the way to do it. Let's try this way. All right. So, questions. I always like to leave a good 10 minutes or so for questions at the end here. And I'll kind of tell you guys the questions as they come in. Okay? Todd says, I forget. Todd, make sure you put your autosave on. Everybody knows how to put the autosave to 5 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever you want, correct? How do I copy and paste so fast? I just left click, drag, and as I'm dragging it, I right click, see how it turns the plus, and then I let go. Okay, I'll show you guys the autosave. So, let me know how you guys copy and paste. Do you Control C, Control V? Do you left click, right click? Do you actually go into the copy, into the paste? Which ways do you do it? See if you can get used to the left click, right click. If you go Control C, Control V, then you have to hit Control C, which is Control this C, 2 buttons, Control then V, 2 more buttons, that's 4. Then you got to come over and you got to click on the actual item that you copied. Then you got to bring it to where you want. Okay? See if you can get rid of doing that. Okay? Watch my mouse. It's on the V on River. Left click. Drag. As I'm dragging it, I'm going to click. Look at my cursor. It has a little box around it. When I right click, see how the plus just came up? That means that it copied already. Okay? And now wherever I drop it is where it's going to put it. So if I wanted to duplicate the spaceball, left click, right click as I'm dragging it, and drop. Now there's another really, really cool tool that I use a lot, but there's specific instances where you need to use it. And someone said it. Where are you at? I think, was it? I could have sworn Carlos said it. Spacebar. So watch this. I got Braden River. I go spacebar, 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 spacebar. Every time you hit the spacebar, it duplicates it. Very cool tool. Okay? Very cool tool. The downfall to that tool is if you only need one copy, it always goes an additional. So watch. If I drag Braden River and hit spacebar, it always makes an additional copy, and when you let go of your left click, it's going to make a third one. That's the only downfall to that one, okay? If you're working with rhinestones, or maybe even stars, okay? You got these stars here, right? And you want to add 6 more orange stars. I would go spacebar, 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 let go. And that's how I added more stars. So the spacebar is a really, really cool one that a lot of people normally don't know about, but you have to use it in specific instances. Todd, 100%. Todd's question was, are clear stones the most common for accents? Yes. 100%. Okay. I wanted to show you guys, go to Tools, Customization, go to Save, and back up every 5 minutes. Everybody's going to be defaulted to 20 minutes. Okay? Everybody's going to be defaulted to 20 minutes. Go to back up every 5 minutes. Elaine, how would you stone the word baseball? Elaine, that is going to be one. That's the one I was talking about that's going to be a lot more in-depth webinar. Because stoning this word baseball, even for me, to get it perfect, is probably a 15-minute project. But we're going to have a webinar as well, getting into depth as far as doing stuff like that. Okay? But here's an example. What a lot of people may do is they may take the word baseball here, and they're going to go to their place and fill, and they're going to do a hatch fill. Right? And it's going to look like that. That's not going to look too good, is it? So that's why we have so many rhinestone fonts, because doing fonts and letters and stones is probably the most difficult thing. Now, I could easily do this. I could go path fill, and it's not going to look horrible. I would have some editing to do, but it's not a complete fill either. To make that look a little bit better, what I could probably do is I could come over and I could use SS6 stones and go path fill. And now with the 6s, see how much nicer that looks? But again, it's not going to be a complete fill. This design right here, even with the few features that you guys learned today, will take you 5 minutes to edit and be done. To get a complete fill on all of those, it would take you an hour. Okay? So just speak, and that's why I always say to stick with the multi-deck designs, accent with stones, or if you're going to do something like this, not a problem. But unless you're going to charge a boatload for a setup and design fee, because you got to make up that money. I mean, imagine if you're paying an employee $12 an hour and it takes them an hour to stone out that word baseball. Well, you just lost $12 in margins on that shirt because you wanted to do baseball in rhinestones. Had you done it in vinyl, you got no extra time involved. Always think about those things when you're doing your designs. Right? Right? I always ask at the end of every webinar, at least one thing that you learned in the webinar tonight, at least one new thing that's going to help you with your designing and using the wizard and CorelDRAW, that's going to save you time, which obviously saving you time is making you money, right? Time is money. You hear that all the time, and obviously even more in our business. A ton. Sweet. Awesome. I love to hear that. So like I said, next week we'll probably do it on Tuesday, is kind of tentative right now because the in-house training is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay? Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then we'll probably do that on Tuesday night is my guess, because everybody knows what Monday night is. Monday night is the super giveaway. Okay, so Monday night we're giving away over $2,500 in giveaways for 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So make sure you enter that contest. Obviously, we got our insane, stupid, crazy sales going on through Monday. Okay, so you got time on the sales that are going on. Equipment's all, I mean, we've never discounted heat presses and cutters, and we've definitely never discounted starter kits. So check that stuff out. Kyle. Let me see on that, Kyle. Kyle, shoot an email to info@therhinestoneworld.com and let me check on that tomorrow, okay? Shoot an email and say, can you remind Matt to check on this? Because I don't know on that. Kyle asked if the code works for the rhinestone sample packs. Great question. Terry, you just got a Graph Tech. You are going to absolutely love it, dude. Look. What's up, Todd? Sale is through Monday, Todd. Yeah, the sale will end the night after the giveaway. We always like to do it at the very end. Roseanne loves her Graph Tech. Awesome. Pam, yes. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you again for an amazing webinar here. You guys are all awesome. You guys all have awesome questions, and I love you guys coming here and wanting to better your business and learn. And I love doing this, so that's why we are here for 1 hour and 52 minutes instead of an hour, right? And you guys stay up late with me, which is even better. But you guys all have an amazing night. I will work to get this uploaded and get it uploaded onto the site tomorrow, okay? And then you'll be able to see the recording, and then we'll get the, I'll get these files in there too for you to be able to work with them and practice some of the different things. So you're working with the same file that I worked with. All right? All right, crew. You guys all... Oh, please, when you sign off here as well, you're going to get a quick little survey. It's 4 questions, I think. And if you could fill that out just real quick, I think you'll get it in the email as well. But it's good for feedback to get your guys' opinions on different things as far as what you like, what you think you would change with different things with the webinars and stuff. All right? Have an amazing night, guys. We will see you guys soon, and I'm sure I will be on Facebook Live tomorrow because we might have another mini pack. All right, see you guys later.